Okay, this is our 3-ring training halter. It swivels at the bottom, and the reason you do that is when you pull on the horse, it makes their head go sideways. Instead of if you were pulling this way, they kind of want to tilt their head and do kind of goofy stuff. And then of course it's got the rings up here on the sides, and I'm going to show you here in a little bit how to hook in your reins there and kind of use it like a hackamore to train with. And then you can also put it on with a bit. The big thing is, here in a minute, I'm going to run her around a little bit and kind of show you what it does. Okay. Right now I'm going to send her around a couple of times so you can kind of see when you pull on it what it does for you. Come on. She's a little slow, which is good. Come on. Come on. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on, let's go. There you go. Good girl. You see that it's pulling out to the side, keeping her head straight up and down. Come on. And when you pull on it to get her head, you see how it kind of just pulls her around, and it keeps her head in line with her body, so that way she's flexing the right way. And these rope halters, you know, when you get them, they may or may not be the exact right size for your horse. The big deal is you want to have this knot right up underneath here, and these knots you can lengthen them. Pull them down this way. All you have to do is kind of pull them like that, and see that's already moved. That moved it down. You don't have to move it very much. These nose knots are the same way. We run just one strand through and have just one single knot instead of having it doubled. That way you can move them side to side. So that way you make sure you get a good fit for your horse. So when they're hateful like this one, you don't have any problems. Okay, with these halters, you can ride in them like a hackamore, and you can also flex them. Just like that. And it works just like a regular hackamore. This will get them used to, you know, leading, because they're kind of used to that halter feel already. So it kind of helps to get them ready. And then you can just take off and ride just like you normally would. Not anything different than riding in a hackamore. They're used to that feel on their nose from those knots all the time when you're training them. So if you're going to start one out, that's definitely the way to go. All right, so now we're going to show you how to flex with one of these and show you what it does. She comes around there, and of course you let it go, and she pulls her head back around. That's just what she's used to when you're doing it on the ground. Just exactly the same way. She's really good at doing this. I think she kind of likes it a little bit, but that's really the whole key to this is to help you get your horse nice and soft and, you know, supple, so she's really well-rounded horse. Okay, this is kind of our next step in the training process of a young horse. We put on our training snaffle. It's got the nose band that comes across here, so they kind of keep that same kind of feel. It's got the snaffle is going in their mouth, and we're kind of riding with it just underneath. That's kind of the first step. That way they can get used to feeling that moving in their mouth a little bit as they go, to get them used to it. Of course, she's absolutely used to one of these, but we're just using this to show you. And then we're going to show you what you do on the next step. Okay, so what we've got here is we've got the training bridle. We still have the training halter underneath with the rings coming through the top ring on the bridle. What that's going to do is that's going to move that snaffle around a little bit to kind of get them used to that feel of the snaffle moving in their mouth without actually putting any pressure on it. The pressure is still coming on the nose knots up here, which is what they're used to, so you can have a little bit more control. Here in just a second, I'm going to have Austin show you you know, exactly what it looks like when you're riding. Now you can see Austin is riding her and putting the pressure on her nose through the halter, but that snaffle is still giving her a little bit of pressure in the mouth, so she can kind of feel it. And we're just kind of easing her around a little bit. Like I said, she's incredibly broke, and she knows what to do and when to do it and all of that good stuff. But she's the perfect example of a horse that's a little bit hard mouth, maybe a little bit. So that keeps that pressure on the nose and kind of lets her feel that in her mouth as well. Okay, now we've transitioned down to just having the reins on the bit. As you can tell, there's you know, she's still getting a little pressure on the nose because of our training bridle that's got the nose rope on it. That's a real useful tool when you're breaking a young one in, or transitioning, you know, a horse that hadn't had a bit in their mouth before. That keeps that feel across the nose that they respect. And you know, she's, like I said, she's pretty well broke, and she steers good and rides good and all that good stuff, but she's a really a good model here to show you what all this stuff does. Of course, we have our basic 4-knot halters also, good for ponying young ones around. This is a 2-year-old little filly. We just got her caught yesterday. This is the second time she's had a halter on. We're ponying her around a little bit to kind of get her used to the feel, so she'll give to the pressure. Those are great for that. Like I said, you can adjust these to just about any size. She's a little girl, so you know, we've got this one adjusted down to where it fits her right. Okay. All right, now I want to introduce you guys to Maddie. She's a 2-year-old. She's a rescue. We got her, gosh, it's probably been 6 months ago. Never been touched before. We had to run her up in the trailer. You know, it was a mess, and we really didn't even mess with her until she got healthy and put a little weight on. Yesterday was her first day to have a halter on, first day to do round pin, first day to do a lot of stuff. She is really smart. She's really calmed down. Of course, we also have her mama and her little sister that's a yearling. Both of them are super calm and super sweet, so I didn't think we were going to have any problem with her. She's just about as good of a little horse as you're going to want to have. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to desensitize her. Like I said, this is her second day. She absolutely never had a halter on until yesterday, about 12 hours ago. So she's doing really good. She's a super calm little girl. But we're just going to desensitize her to the rope. And this is real important. You just kind of keep flinging it at them. You kind of wrap it around their feet a little bit. She's okay with that on the front. Little jumpy on the back, but it's really not bad for, you know, for her second day. She's going to be an amazing little filly when we get her ready to go. But she's just as calm as can be. You just kind of keep doing this until you know, and if you're whacking them in the head and that kind of stuff, that's okay. That gets them used to it. You're going to be flinging ropes off of them eventually. You know, that's kind of what you want. And you just keep doing that and let her kind of do whatever she wants to do, and as long as she's not trying to run off, you know, you're doing good. And eventually she'll relax and either cock her foot or lick her lips, or, you know, something like that. Take a deep breath, whatever. You know, she's laying her ears back at me now like she wants to maybe try to bite me or something, but nah, she's not offering to bite or kick or anything. She's a super good little girl. Okay, so and then, you know, we've got her kind of desensitized to the rope. We're going to rub down her leg, you know, so she kind of gets used to that feel. She's getting a little antsy there. That's okay. Just kind of tell her, whoa, baby. Just keep reaching down, keep going down, and then just kind of lift it up a little bit. And just hold it there for a second, and then you set it down. Don't ever let them yank their foot away from you. You know, you want to set it down yourself. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to yield her hindquarters. We did this just a little bit yesterday, just to kind of get some control over her, because she's kind of wanting to push into us a little bit. We cured that in a hurry. She is so very smart. And basically all you got to do is just kind of tilt her head a little bit, start swinging your lead rope, and get them, put a little pressure on her. If she doesn't want to move, go ahead and smack her a little bit. There you go. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. There you go. And as soon as she steps away from you, a couple of really good quick steps, that's when you want to, you know, let the pressure off, let her relax. She's learned that. A couple of days, you look at her and she's going to start moving it away. She's a really smart girl. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to work on her flexion to get her to turn her head around to us. We did this a little bit yesterday, and we worked on it a little bit just so we didn't bore you with getting her to stand still. But, you know, really took about 5 minutes, and she is already just as calm and sweet as they come. You just reach down and you pull their little heads over this way, and as soon as they give you a little bit of relief, you let go of it. And she's going to keep her head turned around this way, and you want to just kind of push it back out there so she knows it's okay to put her head back. but just real super light pressure with her. She is super good at that. So she's going to be a lot of fun. You guys keep up with this because she is really going to make somebody a great horse. Okay, so now we're going to move around to her right side. She's a little jumpy on her right side. So really what you want to do is you want to work double on the right side. You want her equal. So if she's really good on the left side, you're going to want to work them twice as hard on the right side. Now, she's already ready for that. She doesn't hesitate to learn. She is so good at learning. It takes just a little bit to get her walk around on her right side. We've picked up her feet. We've done just about everything to this little girl, and of course she's kind of learning that step away from pressure on her rear end, and you can kind of just use fingertip pressure for these little ones and just kind of move them away. And she's just doing everything that we could ask for in 2 days. I can't stress it enough. She's going to make somebody a great little horse. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to introduce her to this bareback pad. I don't expect any issue. Haven't had it on her. Haven't even introduced her to it, but she's really just not scared of anything. Just kind of using the approach and retreat deal. You just kind of put it up there, and like I said, as calm as she is, I'll bet you she's more curious than anything. I'll bet you we just throw this up there like we know what we're doing. Kind of jostle it around a little bit, reach down underneath, pull it up here, kind of snug it down a little bit, and kind of what I expected. She's so good about everything. She's ready to ride, really. Not really, but she's going to be a good one. She really is. She's not bugged by anything. She's kind of a little iffy there, but we're going to walk her around a little bit and kind of see what she does. Okay, what we've done on these halters is now that it's off the horse, you can kind of see we've put rings on each of the outside knots, and those are tied on with paracord. They're not going to get in the way. That's not going to come loose. Same on this side. That way you've got a little bit more ring to play with. And then of course we've put a little bit of paracord around this to keep it, keep it from spreading out. And I thought that was better than putting a knot on here. I've seen one of these done that they put a knot right there. And if that knot kind of twists around and and that kind of stuff, this piece could kind of shorten or get off centered or whatever. So that's a much better idea, and that will actually slide up and down that deal if you really wanted to get it up there nice and tight. I tied it really tight though. You can adjust the knots for your horse to make it the size you need. The way I've tied these, a lot of them you can't do that because they start down here, and when you start down here it just doesn't work. You can't adjust anything from there, but I can adjust every knot on this to make it fit any horse that I want to. You notice I used it on Dixie, which is a 15-3 probably, a big quarter horse girl, and then of course I used it on on Maddie, that's a 2-year-old. I haven't put it on Trixie yet, that's a yearling, but I've got a halter for her that we use, and it'd be a little tougher to get it adjusted for that small, but you can, the big deal is you can adjust it. If you've got a 14-2 quarter horse, it'll fit. You can make it fit if you got a 15-2. Tomorrow we're going to put it on Bugs, which is our 16 hands quarter horse. It's just a great little halter, and these are $29.95. Worth every penny of it because it just does so much stuff, as you saw. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, travis@bar3rtack.com. You want to order them, go on the website, order them. It'll take me 2 or 3 days to get one made. I'm kind of limited on colors, but we're kind of just getting this deal started, and I wanted to introduce you all to it, and so you could see exactly how it works. Thanks for tuning in with us today, and we look forward to hearing from you all soon. Thanks.